Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be taking a look at 15 secret text messages that only Trevor can receive. So it's crazy that Grand Theft Auto 5 is 6 years old, and I'm discovering new things about this game every single day. Now, as I'm sure you guys know by now, you unlock Trevor about a third or maybe a fourth of the way through the main campaign of GTA 5, and in order to get these secret text messages for yourself, you have to talk to one of Trevor's stranger and freak mission givers, Cletus, who will take you on sort of a hunting mission.
Hey, bud. What you do?
Nothing. What you up to, Cletus?
Hunting.
Hunting what? Retirees?
Nah, just stuff. Windows, antenna, tires, vermin.
Ah, so that was you. 'Tis the season for it.
I don't give a shit about no season.
Oh, good, huh? Don't let the regulations get you down.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you want to come hunting with me? It'd be real neighborly of you.
Hell, why not?
All right, then. Up here with you.
So this first mission with Cletus basically has you going around shooting satellite dishes around sandy shores, and then you basically drop him off. And at the end of the conversation, he says that you guys should go hunting together. And eventually, you can actually meet Cletus, and you guys will end up going hunting together, which is one of the cooler side missions that you can actually do in GTA 5. So it is kind of fun. Now, in case you guys have never done any of the hunting missions in GTA 5, essentially how it works is you basically just have to look for an animal. In this instance, you have to look for like a deer or a buck or something like that. And there are some like variables in the mission, like which way the wind is blowing, if you spook the animal or the elk or something like that. And what happens is essentially once you've hunted the animal, you have to take a photo of it and then send that to Cletus for whatever reason, like proof or validation that you actually hunted the animal. I don't know why you have to do that. It seems rather weird. However, when you do so, you're kind of at the game's honor system. The game doesn't force you to send the message to Cletus. So instead, what you could do is send that message to any one of the contacts that Trevor has in his phone. And if you do that, you'll end up getting a unique response from each of those individual characters. Now, if you do this normally and you send this to Cletus, he'll send you something, kind of appropriate, like you were just hunting. He says, "Beauty, got a GPS tag and everything. I reckon this could work. Calling you now." And then this is what he says.
Got the photo, another nice kill. So this is what I'm thinking. All this demand for wild-raised meat with them city folks right now? If we divide and conquer, I reckon we could make ourselves a tidy little sideline. Text me a photo of your quarry. I'll let you know what it's worth and come by to pick it up soon as I can. I like my meat with some age on it anyways. What do you say?
Yeah, I say we'll see. I got a few other irons in the fire at the moment.
All right, well, the offer's there. And you can keep that elk collar. Was my grandma's before she passed. Be hearing from you.
However, if you were to send that same photo to other contacts of Trevor in his phone, you would get a much different response. And we're going to be going through all of them right now. Some of them are pretty funny. So I think there is a generic default response because there are 4 contacts that Trevor can text where they will just say, "Dude, seriously." So the first actually comes from the 911 emergency services, which, by the way, the fact that you can text 911 and send them photos is a little bit strange. But regardless, emergency services will respond with "Dude, seriously." Another contact that will also respond with "Dude, seriously" is Martin Madrazo. Again, another reason why I think this is sort of the generic response is because I don't think the words "Dude, seriously" would ever come out of Martin Madrazo's mouth. But either way, he responds like that. Another character that responds like that is the blimp service. They say "Dude, seriously" as well. I think the ones that get the generic response are the ones that, wouldn't make sense for Trevor to be texting. So that makes sense. And then Downtown Cab Company as well. They also say "Dude, seriously." So those are the generic text messages that Trevor will get if he sends those contacts. However, there are much more personalized ones, including the first one, which comes from Lamar. And Lamar says, I only smoke homies with 2 legs. So apparently Lamar is not a fan of hunting animals, or at least he's only a fan of killing humans or taking out people with 2 legs. So I thought that was a pretty funny response right there. You don't obviously go hunting with Lamar, but his reaction's certainly pretty funny. Remember the rumor and report going around that Lamar was supposed to be the playable character after the final mission of the game? That would have been amazing because Lamar is awesome. The next one comes from Franklin. This is cool to see a response from one of the main protagonists. He says, is there anything you won't shoot? So even Franklin knows the, psychopathic nature of Trevor. And I love how that's the first thing he says. So apparently Franklin also not a fan of maybe hunting animals, which also kind of ties into Franklin's story, because isn't Franklin the one that can talk to dogs and stuff like that? And he is also the only one with a pet, Chop, so that does make sense. I love this next one. This is Wade, who I think is the cousin of that one guy that Trevor knows in Los Santos, who's also like that. He looks like he's from Insane Clown Posse or something like that. But Wade says, one for the wall. So Wade is clearly a fan of hunting, as he sees this elk carcass as decoration. I mean, at least he's being efficient with the materials that Trevor has gathered, but Wade is an interesting character, that's for sure. Creepy Uncle Lester sends us our next text message, and he says, you really need to get a better handle on your media. I was confused by this one. I don't know what Lester is talking about. It's not like Trevor put this out on social media. He just, sent this in a text message. I don't know. Maybe that's the perfect Lester response because it's kind of weird, awkward, and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's what Lester ends up sending to Trevor. He actually sends Agent Dave Norton a text, which is awkward in so many ways. He says, that one I can't arrest you for. That's an interesting one. You guys would have to know the backstory there. Agent Dave Norton is the one that Michael sort of took a deal with, and he was actually trying to shoot Trevor in the very beginning of the prologue, but he ended up shooting Brad by mistake, or Brad walked in front of Trevor. So the fact that he's sending him a text message of a dead elk, that's just a little awkward, especially if you know the history that happened between those two. But that's what Agent Dave Norton has to say. Up next, we've got Michael, another protagonist, who says, glad to see you have so much time on your hands. That's kind of ironic coming from Michael, considering, before he met Trevor, all he would do was, lay in a chair in his backyard and would basically do nothing, essentially, since he retired. So the fact that he's criticizing Trevor for having too much time on his hand, I think is a little bit funny. But I guess Michael's mentality might have changed since they met each other and since he figured out that Trevor was still alive. You can also get a text message from Jimmy DeSanta, who will say, politically correct as ever, Uncle Trevor. I love that one. That's kind of a personalized one just from Jimmy. I can't tell if Jimmy is upset here or if he's just like, what the heck are you sending me, Uncle T? Michael DeSantis' kids, Jimmy and Tracy, do seem to like Trevor a lot. Tracy actually doesn't send Trevor a text message here. I guess she wasn't one of the contacts that could. I found that to be kind of strange considering she really likes Uncle Trevor. So I'm not sure, but that's what Jimmy says. Up next is Patricia Madrazo, who says, Carino, you're so unpredictable, XX. Now, I don't speak Spanish, so I actually had to look this up. Apparently, Carino means sweetie or sweetheart. So that's what she was calling him. And obviously, if you guys have played through the campaign, you'll know that Trevor and Patricia Madrazo end up having some sort of relationship. And if it wasn't obvious enough by the profile picture, they're in the same photo together. So she basically says, sweetie, you're so unpredictable. I love how she's approves of that and then sends the, XX for the kisses at the very end. Up next, it's an interesting one. It's Ursula, who says, ew, that's disgusting. And in case you guys are wondering who Ursula is actually a stranger that either Franklin or Trevor can encounter. And apparently in this instance, Trevor was the one who encountered her. You basically take her home, and then she will eventually become a booty call for either of them. And she will also send Trevor some pretty interesting text messages. If you haven't seen those, I'll leave a link to a video I did maybe about a year ago in the description about some more secret text messages that all of the protagonists can receive. But Ursula's kind of a freak, let's just say that, and she will send you some very interesting messages. Trevor can also get a text message from Chef who says, "Is that what I think it is?" Question mark, question mark. I don't know why he seems so surprised. Chef is a methamphetamine cook, so I don't know why he would be weirded out about a dead elk carcass. That to me seems a little bit strange. Maybe Chef is thinking it's something else. Maybe he's on some methamphetamines. I have no idea. But either way, that's what Chef says. And last but not least, we've got Nervous Ron, who says, "Why you never take me hunting, Trevor?" Probably for a good reason, Nervous Ron, because I don't think you could be trusted. But that is funny. It's like, "Why you never take me hunting, Trevor?" I'm just imagining him saying it in like a super angry, squealish voice. I don't know. I found that to be kind of funny, but that right there is 15 secret text messages that only Trevor can receive because Trevor is the only one that can go on these hunting missions. And Trevor is also the only one who has some of the contacts you saw in here, like Patricia and Ursula, if you're able to find her as Trevor. So I found this to be pretty funny. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Which response did you think was the best? I think Lamar's response was absolutely hilarious. Wade had a really funny one too, one for the wall. And Ursula's was interesting too. So let me know your thoughts, opinions, more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And remember to subscribe if you guys are new or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption 2 videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.